crew bunk rooms, showers, and restrooms, and a secure room for special uses such as nursing.
Trailing Thoughts from Shingle Creek Trail. I've never seen more animals on a bike ride. Is that another water bird? They're like mini seaplanes. Imagine having the power of flight, only to spend so much of your day underwater. That's got to be really confusing and terrifying to the fish.
I remember very well, like 20 months, almost 2 years ago, Justin, our general manager, was meeting with the PKZ and the fantastic program of Black Bee Honey. We had a tasting in the other room over there. We loved the product, we loved the story, and we decided that right away we want to be partner with them. We want to be working with them and take the product to the next level and make it known to the public.
I've been waiting for this for weeks. I gotta tell you, I am so ready to do.
Good afternoon and welcome to the October 11th, 2021 regularly scheduled meeting of the Orlando City Council. We're going to begin today with the invocation and pledge of allegiance led today by Commissioner Jim Gray.
Great, thank you. Let us pray, please. Dear God, thank you for protecting and nurturing our city and its residents. Your Majesty was on full display this weekend with many successful events, parades, and festivals. We ask you to please give us all the wisdom, grace, and courage to make sound decisions that align with your will for this city. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll and make a determination of a quorum, please?
Commissioner Gray?
Here.
Commissioner Ortiz?
Here.
Commissioner Stewart?
Here.
Commissioner Sheehan? Here. Commissioner Hill?
Here.
Commissioner Burns?
Here.
Mayor Dyer?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum with all members present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let's take up for approval the minutes from the agenda review, City Council meeting, and second budget hearing from September 27th, 2021. Who had the motion over here? Jim. Motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Hill. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, we are right on to Mayor's update. I think you would agree that our community's vibrance and inclusiveness was on display over the weekend as Commissioner Gray expounded. I had the opportunity to participate in the Come Out with Pride Festival, and I can't estimate how many people were there, but there were a lot of people there throughout the course of the day, and it was a beautiful day, great celebration of love and equality with our LGBTQ plus community. And tomorrow we are hosting our Hispanic Heritage Month celebration for the first time at the Amway Center. The event will start at 5 p.m. It's free, so I hope to see a lot of people there. Speaking of events coming back this weekend, we'll host a lot of exciting things. We have Immerse, Synapse, Viva Orlando, iHeartRadio's Fiesta Latina. We're all about creating those unique experiences, and all these show the diversity of the variety of event offerings that we have. So if you would like more information, go to orlando.gov/. Okay, one of the nice things we get to do is occasionally give some money to great organizations that provide various services to our community. So on today's agenda, we'll vote on $1.2 million in grant awards to 3 not-for-profit community service organizations, 2 arts and cultural organizations. So that would be United Arts of Central Florida, the Orlando Science Center, the Homeless Services Network, Central Florida Commission on Homelessness, and the Pet Alliance. I'm guessing that a lot of the people that are here today are members of those organizations, so if you please stand and be recognized. Okay. Also on the agenda is the appointment of our next City of Orlando Poet Laureate. So we have 2 in the House today, and after we vote on the consent agenda, we'll have a little presentation for that. So with that, we'll move on to the consent agenda, which is a number of items that are acted upon through a single vote of council. We let each of our council members comment on those items, as well as update you on important happenings from their district. We rotate the order that we do that in, and today Commissioner Gray is first up.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be very brief given the group that we have here today. We're on to bigger and better things, but just a couple of announcements. Tuesday, October 5th, in District 1, we did National Night Out, as most people in the city did. It was great to be around neighbors, and for all those sponsors that help throw the party, I just want to say thank you, and we look forward to another successful event next year. Friday, October 8th, was lucky enough to join Commissioner Burns at the Boys and Girls Club breakfast at the Bradley and Otis Family Branch in Westlake. Great event. There's maybe a handful of events that are real special to me. That one's always great because that identifies kids that need a little extra help, and was glad to be part of that to support the Y in Westlake. And then that evening, last Friday night, we attended the National Faith and Blues Gospel concert. Despite the rain, people showed up, and it was really a nice event. Commissioner Ortiz, Commissioner Stewart were there, so we had a really good time. And then finally, Saturday, we had our Fall Festival in District 1, which was in Vista Lakes, and to my surprise, we had about 1,300 people show up, which is proof when the weather's great and you get a chance to get people outdoors with their families, they show up. So we were thrilled to do that. I just want to say thanks to a couple of folks, certainly the mayor for coming out, Chief Verlone, Chief Buckley, Commissioner Ortiz joined us, but especially to the group at ESU of OPD, Emergency Services. We had promised everybody free hamburgers and hot dogs. A lot of pressure. And our cooks bailed on us 2 days before. So fortunately, the folks at the ESU unit answered the call and came out and fed everybody. So special thanks for them for responding and helping us on short notice. I just want to echo what the mayor said on the agenda. We've got a lot of multiple funding agreements for groups that do a lot to help the city. And I just want to say thank you for what you do to make this city a better place. So with that, Mayor, that's all I have.
You know what? I had a list of 6, but I see we have a lot of additional groups that anybody that's part of an organization that's receiving funding through a funding agreement with us today. Would you guys all stand? I don't think I got everybody. Thanks so much. Okay, Commissioner Ortiz.
Thank you, Mayor. On Wednesday, September 29th, I teamed up with the Office of Multicultural Affairs to host a virtual panel, Knowing and Getting Involved with Your Local Government. That's the first one of more panels to come in inviting different representatives of the different levels of government to speak to a community in reference to how they see the community getting involved and how they can deliver the message both ways. I want to thank Senator Victor Torres, Representative Ana Escamani, Commissioner Maribel Gomez Cordero, and WFTV News anchor Nancy Alvarez for joining us to discuss with residents ways to enhance government and community relations through civic empowerment and engagement. A big shout out to the Multicultural Affairs team for facilitating this panel, especially Luis Martinez, Felipe Sosa, and Lisette Feliciano. On Thursday, September 30th, I had the pleasure of attending the What's Up Downtown 50 Years and Rising luncheon. Our downtown area has become one of the Orlando's premier locations to live, work, and play, thanks to our current and past leadership. So we had a great panel, great people, some good news and some bad news, because we are losing our great, Chief Administrative Officer, Frank Billingsley, who has done such a great job for the city. He's not here today? Oh. Anyhow, but the city has undergone, where is he? No? Okay, never mind. City has undergone an amazing transformation over the years, and I look forward to all of the great things to come. On Tuesday, October 5th, Officer Sanchez and I enjoyed a night out of visiting our neighborhoods and celebrating National Night Out. I'm very thankful for our committees and communities who continue working with and supporting our first responders, Orlando Police Department, the firefighters, to defeat crime in our communities. On Friday, October 8th, I attended the Orlando Police Department's Faith and Blue Orlando Praise on the Front Yard celebration. Events such as this do help strengthen the relationship between the community and the police department. So kudos to the Orlando Police Department, to our chief, towards the people involved from the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center, and all the commissioners were there, and we had a great time. Keeping our city safe is a task this man and woman in blue uphold every day. So to that, I say thank you. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. We will continue helping and sending a message to a community that we are one team. On Saturday, October 9th, I attended Commissioner Jim's Gray District. Thank you for the invitation. That was fun. That was well put together. I want to congratulate Commissioner Gray for an amazing event and give a big shout out to Diane and those who worked with her to make it a day to remember. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor, and let me also echo the comments about the Faith in Blue, as well as I had a chance to attend the Pride Sabbat, and had a chance to get there and had to leave a little early, but our city is so neat, the inclusion that we have among our community, and having those two happening literally across the street from each other was just another example of the inclusion in our community. I also attended the What's Up Downtown with Commissioner Ortiz, and this week we say so long to Frank Billingsley. I guess he's supposed to work actually until Friday, but I'm not sure he's going to stick around. But we had a chance to say some great words about him last week. He has been a wonderful advocate for our city. Mayor, thank you for the great choices that you've made to continue to put them in leadership role. It was amazing looking at the What's Up Downtown and talking to the three executive directors that have actually been involved from the very beginning, between Tom Kohler and Frank and Thomas Chapman. It's just really been neat to see those three people and talk about downtown in such a wonderful historical perspective. I appreciate that. Couple of events coming up. If you're a College Park resident, tonight we have the October 11th, our October meeting of the College Park Neighborhood Association is 7 o'clock, and they're still doing hybrid. If you want to come, you can come to the meeting or you can check online. As weather cools off, our Green Up and Keep Orlando Beautiful teams are working busy. We've had a lot of events every weekend. So please join us in College Park and Baldwin Park this Saturday, October 16th at 9 a.m. In College Park, we'll be sprucing up Edgewater Drive, and in Baldwin Park, we'll be cleaning up around Blue Jacket Park. So please come and join us. And on the same day, on October 16th, that night, don't want to miss the Audubon Park Zombie Toberfest. Now, some of y'all remember that a few years ago, we actually, the mayor helped me put a proclamation together to ask all of our citizens to be careful during Zombie Toberfest in case you saw a zombie. It was a lot of fun, and we had a great time. But it's a great way to bring the community together, and that's going on this next Saturday night. I Have No Village is doing some great stuff coming up for the work with at the Orlando Science Center, doing It Takes a Village, night of community soiree. That's on the Wednesday, October 20th. And then the College Park Neighborhood Center staff, Neighborhood Center staff is doing an event with our kids over there on Saturday, October 23rd. It's kind of their fall festival, and it is a neat place. I will tell you, they did transform the entire facility over there for our kids, and we'll have 300 or 400 kids come through. It'll be great. I'm excited to announce that we finalized a location within the Packing District for our regional dog park on the west and northwest side that will serve all of District 3 and District 5's dogs and beyond. The site's about 2 acres. It will be split up to accommodate both small dog and large dog. The site will be adjacent with ample parking, shade structures, shade tree, and a dog wash as well. So we're having a Zoom meeting to announce the plans and get some input back from the community. So please look for that as that comes up. And on the agenda today, thank you, Mayor, for recognizing those that are involved in our community. After having been a little bit on both sides of that, the work and the efficiency of our organizations and the work that they do is incredible, and I'm honored that we continue to support them, and thank you for that commitment every year. So congratulations, everybody. Thank you. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Sheehan, nice to have you back in person.
It's nice to be back in person. Thank you so much. My elderly mother has had some health issues, and I really needed to concentrate on her, and it was safer for me to participate virtually. So I want to thank everybody for helping me out during a very, very difficult time. But she's finally placed, and she's happy, and she likes the food in her new place. So that's what's most important. Today is National Coming Out Day, and a lot of folks sometimes don't understand why this is an important day in the LGBTQ community. And I would just like to take a little privilege, if I can, to tell a brief story. Before I was elected as City Commissioner, I was a manager at the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. I took some vacation time to attend the March on Washington for Lesbian Gay Rights. When I returned, I was demoted after my division director saw me in a photo in the Orlando Sentinel. And it was a really hard time for me because I was up for promotion and I got a demotion. 2 years later, a new division director was appointed, and he admired my work ethic, and he wanted to promote me. But when he called me, he said one of my coworkers had called him and wanted to talk. And he said, "Do you have any idea what that talk is going to be about?" And I said, "Well, this person wants to tell you that I'm gay." And he said, "Well, not everyone is as comfortable with this as you are." And I said, "That's not my problem, that's theirs." And he said, "That's a really good answer. Be careful what you ask for, you're going to get the job." And I really loved that job. I loved working at the Florida Department of Agriculture, and I got to work on many marketing initiatives, including the Fresh from Florida logo campaign. Fast forward to this last weekend, I saw the Fresh from Florida logo in rainbow colors on a gentleman at Come Out with Pride. It was Nathan Brummer. He's the LGBTQ advocate for the Commissioner of Agriculture, a proud trans man. And he gave me this shirt. Cool. I know, it's cool. So I want to tell everyone things do change, and we all need to be a part of that change. And I went from being someone who got demoted to someone who got part of creating something that now is celebrating my community. And that was, yeah, that was pretty cool. So all we really want is equality, and that's why coming out is so important. So thank you for letting me tell that story. On the agenda today, I'm so pleased to see that we continue to support the Pet Alliance. They've had a really, really tough year this year, and anything that we can do to help the Pet Alliance and the homeless puppies and kitties in our community are really important, as well as everyone, all the good work all the organizations do. And like seeing that the Milk District is finally getting their traffic control box art. My gosh, Zach, it seems like it's taken forever, but I'm so glad we're finally getting these through for you. And also that we're getting the Sidewalk Cafe Incentive Program on the agenda today too. So thank you very much, y'all. I appreciate it. That's all I had, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hill.
Thank you, Mayor Dyer. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to speak about a few things on the agenda and then some of the events that I attended prior to our post our last meeting. But I do want to mention the hearing's first read, the sales of some parcels there in Creative Village, Paramore, and I'm just excited to see the growth there in that northern core of Paramore and all the equity and inclusion that, and I would say responsible growth, Mayor Dyer, that has been put into that. So we will now be selling a few more parcels where a hotel and some more housing and some office space. And I've met with the developer, the Usler Group, and their commitment to the people of Paramore is to be commended on the job opportunities that they will have there and the training that's there that sits in Creative Village when we start talking about culinary arts, hospitality, and I would say some of the apartment maintenance programs that Valencia Accelerated Program have right there in the Paramore area, and how we're going to do that public-private partnership of equity and inclusion. So to continue the process of the growth there in Creative Village, Paramore is so exciting. And thank you, Mayor. I had the opportunity to sit with the mayor and Dr. Cartwright, which is the new UCF president, to talk about the beginning and some of the things I did not know. I came in 2014 and the conversation and dialogue on how to do responsible growth right there in Paramore while it become an educational and an economic, I would say, project. Mayor Dyer was so thoughtful, and I thank you for sharing that and being future ready and forward thinking. And I sat there as a little girl growing up in Paramore on too much is given, much is required. And to be at that table and to help lead these efforts to where not while we're just building buildings, but we're building the people on the footsteps and on the footprints, on the outer core of that, and to help lead those conversations and advocate for the people there. And it's just an amazing thing, and I'm just so grateful that I could be a part of it and sit with great thought leaders that continue to revitalize my dear community called Paramore. And as we move down to the downtown corner of District 5, the CRA reading with the incentives for the Sidewalk Cafe. I think that's a great program where we would talk about beautifying our downtown corridor and giving some incentives to those small business owners that need a hand up to beautify the outside of the exterior there. So glad for the support of this council on that. And then I thank you to the people that's on the ground doing the work, and that is many of you in the nonprofit sector that will be getting funds today, because we can't work in a silo. We can't do this work here at the dais. It takes the community to help us continue to move this city forward. So congratulations and thank you. On that note, I saw a card I was going to get this gentleman, and it had some olives on it. And the olives, when you open the card, it said, "Congratulations, this is the pits for me." And that's to see Frank Billingsley retire. But I'm so happy for him. He's been a great steward of this city as it has been developed in many facets of city government. And then there being the mayor's chief of staff, as was stated, what a great choice. But he's been more than that. It's never easy when you are just coming into a public government, and he has been a staunch advocate of all things city, but primarily District 5, and helping navigate many of my thoughts and hearing me out and just understanding. And, it's no public secret. All my 8 years haven't been all great, but having someone to just lean on and talk to and help guide, I just want to say publicly to Frank Billingsley, thank you for your leadership in the city, but thank you more for being a confidant to me. I kid Mayor Dyer, as we were stating there on the 9th overlook floor, that sometime I actually appointed him as my chief of staff. And so, congratulations, Frank. I know you won't be a ghost because you love the city, and I know we'll see more of you. And then I'd like to say, as Commissioner Sheehan said, thank you, Commissioner Sheehan, for leading the efforts of inclusion and equity before it was even a conversation that we have now after George Floyd. By your boldness and you stepping out with pride when it wasn't popular. So happy National Coming Out Day to those that are part of the LGBT community plus. And of course, I am always a strong advocate of inclusion and equity and partnerships. So thank you. On Thursday, September the 29th, I was able to attend, well, Jackie, my aide, attended for me, 50 years of service to downtown. Also want to say a speedy recovery to whom I call Mr. Downtown, Thomas Chapman, that is now recovering from surgery, and we'll see him real soon. But he was on the panel with Frank Billingsley, our new placemaker, soon to be retired, along with Thomas Chapman, to talk about the renaissance of downtown and what we're doing to become future ready in the next 50 years. I was able to see it virtually. It was a great conversation, and it talked about economic development, demographics, and how we rank among cities throughout the nation. I was able to participate on October 2nd there at the Amway Center with probably about 300 volunteers from the Indian community with their children, wives, husbands, family members of all ethnicities right there in Paramore, and to look out to see all these people of different backgrounds and ethnicities and income brackets there in Paramore, packing over 100 meals with feeding children everywhere to send to Haiti. Was quite amazing, and it was quite rewarding. And October 2nd happened to be Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. So what a great day, a man that was so humble, and service was his life's work to be able to now send those meals to families there in Haiti that has so much devastation right now, and need the world to recognize that and let them know that they're not alone. Well, on October 5th, no offense, council members, but we had National Night Out. It was an incredible evening. But once again, District 5 reigns. We came in number 1, once again, year after year after year. But it was best. It's all in jest, Commissioner Stewart. You gave me a hard time about that Edgewater win. District 5 was number 1, okay? And the theme was National Night Out theme contest. As I said, was won by District 5, West Lakes, Clear Lake community. And it's always a treat for myself and the chief and mayor to go and listen to young Zion. Young Zion was probably about 5 years old when I first came in. Now he's a teenager. And this young man just have such a great speech when we come, and so energetic and passionate. And you can go to Mayor Dyer's Facebook page and you can hear his speech. Sean, he's coming for you. Sean is extemporaneous speaker and poet. But young Zion is on my heels. He's coming for me too, so don't worry about it. But it just was a great time to foster these relationships with law enforcement and the community and continue those efforts of bridging the gap and recognizing the community, but also celebrating the men and women that put on a uniform every day to keep our streets safe, that they humanize each other. So I just love National Night Out to see us working in unison together as a community, and which in efforts continue to cut down crime. And one of the fun facts about that community that we learned, Mary, was that Clear Lake has been crime-free all year long. I think that's applause on the west side. And that is because of the community there looking out for one another. And of course, I want to celebrate the efforts of the faith-based community that was had there on our front lawn at Dr. Phillips with our OPD. Thank you, Chief Rallone. I know his deputy chief is here representing him, but thank you all for your efforts. It was a well-attended event, and it done what we're trying to do here in the city of Orlando and nationwide, but it's done really well here in the city, and that is fostering relationships in the community. And humanizing our citizens, but also humanizing the efforts of our family in blue. So it was just great, and including those in the faith community, where we know the pillars of every community is our churches. So it was well attended, a great worship service. Saturday morning on October 9th, I was able to attend Emory Hamilton Field. We call it the Complex. It's there on West Colonial Drive. Myself and Mayor Dyer unveiled a plaque honoring Mr. Emory Hamilton, which was an African-American recreation director here in the city of Orlando that made sure that many of the parks and different activities and resources that you see there on the Western Core and Eastern Core, Commissioner Ortiz, for black and brown girls and boys, Latino boys and girls, was recognized, and he made sure he put major focus into that and resources. And Mayor Dyer had a great information that he updated me on the many things that Mr. Hamilton done. So it was quite rewarding to see all those youth with myself and Mayor Dyer see this plaque that had his picture on it. So each time they enter that complex, they can see themselves and can see that they can do great things through service. And last but not least, I am so excited to talk about the 9 new homes that we're getting ready to break ground with the phase 3 of the CRA home ownership program that we've put in place in Paramore. We've already built 11, so now we're building 9 more. Our goal is, before we're completed, to build 51 single-family mixed income homes there in the Paramore area. And the city has a special program because we are the builders, that we don't care if you have a 600 credit score, 800, or 500. As long as you can qualify for $125,000 in these $250,000 homes, we will give you up to $100,000 to close that gap. And I think as we continue, the city of Orlando now has reached about 2,250 affordable mixed income homes here in the city of Orlando in District 5 and in District 6. We're also focused on wealth building, and that is through home ownership. And by the city lots that we have been able to do something that has not been done throughout the nation, I believe, and that is to have responsible growth in an urban, historic African-American community. That's historic. And to build the homes and then help the people there through our Home Buyers Club still be able to remain in Paramore or come back, but make it all inclusive, where we have market rate, medium income, and low income. And thank you, Mayor Dyer and this council for assisting with this responsible growth, not a gentrified area. While we continue to build Paramore, we're not just building people, we're building families again. We're building people. Did I say buildings or people? We're building people and not just building buildings. And that takes a lot. And when we talk about Creative Village, this ecosystem, this revitalization and renaissance of Paramore is to be commended. And if you all can help me give this council, because this happened on this council right here that you see before us. And I just want to thank them for all that they have done to help revitalize Paramore. Can you give them a hand? So with that, Mayor, that's all that I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Burns.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. To start off, on Tuesday, September the 28th, at the Smith Center, I hosted another conversation with black men, and we talked fatherhood. We had a nice crowd, and this is a space where black men can gather together to talk about issues that impact us directly. Especially after last year's protest, one of the things that I continued to hear was that we as black men needed a safe space to talk about a lot of issues, but mental health issues in our community. So this is one way that my office is working to address that mental health gap. Also in honor of World Mental Health Day, which was yesterday, and as a healthcare professional, please reach out to my office if you'd like to learn more about these conversations by calling 407-246-2006. And we invite all black men to come out and join us in these conversations. I also would like to again congratulate Frank Billingsley on his retirement. He served the city in many capacities, but as he heads off to the next chapter of his life, I wish him and his family the best and look forward to seeing him around the city and not necessarily just in City Hall. So again, congratulations to Frank. On September 30th, I had the pleasure of taking a tour of the Tampa Housing Authority with Ms. Vivian Bryant from the Orlando Housing Authority. Got a chance to see some of the great developments that they have pulled together and also some additional plans that they have. So Mayor, I came back with some ideas. As we look at the housing projects in District 6 as well as in District 5, the need to have a vision for how those housings will be redeveloped at the time when that comes. So again, was glad to attend that tour with Ms. Vivian Bryant and her great team. Also, I was happy to join OPD last week for a national night out. And Commissioner Hill, we will bow down to District 5 because you came in first place. But I do have to highlight Carver Shores Community Association that came in second. So we're on your heels. But it was definitely a great time for the community to come together and just share. So I would like to thank Ms. Vincent and Ms. Heath and her counterparts because they did a great job in bringing the community together, and it was a grand celebration. And thank you, Mayor, for joining us for the check presentation. Orlando Health provided a check of $300. We also had some bikes donated to our youth from Target. So again, thank you to all of our partners. Also want to thank Windsor Oaks, St. John's Episcopal, and Lake Richmond and Richmond Heights for also hosting National Night Out events. This past Saturday, I participated in my very first Pride Parade. I really enjoyed myself. Had a chance to walk in the parade alongside Commissioner Stewart, so thank you, Commissioner. But I was proud to see the amount of people that came out in support given to our LGBTQ plus community. Nobody does it like the City of Orlando, and Saturday's Pride Parade and Festival was further proof of how well we embrace everyone in our community. And thank you also, Commissioner Sheehan, for your leadership. As you shared with me earlier today, you had a hand in starting, I think, the first Pride Parade in the was it early 80s or late 80s? In the late in the late 80s. So thank you for your vision of inclusiveness for everyone in our community. As far as the agenda items, I too would like to acknowledge item A3 and A4 and the work of our community service and arts and cultural organizations, receiving grants, and more specifically to the Homeless Services Network and the Commission on Homelessness. Just thank you all for all the work that you do for our members who are experiencing homelessness in our communities. Also, items C14 and C17, funding agreements for Black Business Community Development Corporation, BBIF, and the Hispanic Business Initiative Fund, as they support our minority businesses who operate here in the city of Orlando. Also, C19 funding agreement with the Orlando Economic Partnership. And lastly, C16 funding agreement with Greater Orlando Sports Commission. And with that, Mayor Dyer, move approval of the consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Burns, second by Commissioner Ortiz. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries, and we officially have a new poet laureate. I first want to thank Susan Lilly for serving as our city's first poet laureate. She was originally supposed to serve 3 years, but COVID changed that up a little bit more, so she, like it has a lot of things, so she agreed to stay on an extra year, and I appreciate her advocacy for poetry and advancing poetry in Orlando. She worked with our Office of Community Affairs to establish Words and Wonders, which is a poetry contest that engages our residents in this creative art form. So Susan, if you would meet me there at the podium, we have some gifts for you. Okay, so this is a framed copy of your poem, The City Beautiful, City Beautiful, so, which was wonderful. Let's do a picture of that. And then we have a pen with a feather pen, which is appropriate for pen poetry.
This is great because I kept telling Sean what to say on my behalf. So I just want to thank everyone for supporting this program. Creative writing is such a beautiful, free human activity. It doesn't take a lot of equipment. It just takes the desire and something to say, and it's a beautiful way to express ourselves. So I'm so grateful to Marcia and Felicia. Where's Marcia? Marcia is, you know, she's amazing. So I just don't know how I would have gotten through all this without her. We were both new at this. The city hadn't had a poet laureate before, and I had never been one. So we had a lot of good times, and we made a few dreams come true that I'm really proud of. And I'm so excited about Sean, I can hardly stand it. So let's get on with it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now it's time to transition to our newest poet laureate, and I am pleased to introduce, with a very appropriate name, Sean Welcome as our new Orlando Poet Laureate. Sean is a longtime Orlando resident and University of Central Florida graduate, go Knights, and he has been involved in the Orlando community facilitating poetic expression since 2006 through Diverse Word, which is a weekly poetry night he launched that features local artists from across Central Florida, and he's traveled the country sharing his gift of poetry, has served youth and fellow poets through local non-for-profits like Page 15. He presented a slam camp, which he'll have to tell you what that is, but and he also He's the program facilitator at the Polis Institute. So let me acknowledge the Poet Laureate Search Committee, also Ivan Quintero, who represented United Arts. Anybody that's on the search committee that's here, would you guys stand up? So that was Jennifer Quigley, Vidhu Agarwal, Sherry Koopman, Tamara Madison, Christopher Newman, Obi Wackerman, and Ryan Rivas. So with that, I present you Sean. Welcome.
Also have to give thanks to Marcia Goodwin, Director of Community Affairs. She is a gem, as Susan mentioned earlier, Poet Laureate Selection Committee, Mayor Dyer and City Council. I appreciate each and every one of you, our former Poet Laureate, Susan Lilly, the Diverse Word family. These are open mic artists and those that appreciate just poetry and just the celebration of creative expression. Tim Rumsey, who's no longer with us, as well as my Aunt Lee, those who have passed away during COVID. I know they would be super proud of this moment. Diverse Elements, which was just, you know, my crew. We used to perform on the corner of Pine and Magnolia in the streets, and so to be here is a great honor. My 90-year-old grandfather is here, along with a family that came in from Jacksonville and Miami. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And so I appreciate all of the support. My sisters, brothers, my father, who recently moved here, so welcome to Orlando. Yeah, I can't say enough about the importance of poetry and literacy in our community, and I'm going to continue to beat that drum. I won't hold y'all too long. The poem I prepared for you all today is called Reasons Why. When we say or you see my city beautiful, have you ever asked why? Because visitors might say palm trees have voices of their own, speak for themselves amidst the cotton candy day sky and a rainbow-lit night sky. Is it also true for you who reside betwixt the magical water rides? In the cool shadow of the Orlando Eye, Caribbean roots plant well in this soil. They say my city beautiful, but why? Because date night at the Robinson cocktail vibes. Goff's ice cream still survives. Jeremiah's I got to have. Because La Chanera and Mi Banderas and Reyes on Orange Ave. At Mamak I like to meet, or maybe it's me, I like to eat. Roti shops to Seafood Station or Sister Honey's for a treat. We welcome the retirees from the north and from the west. Celebrate arts in the street from Immerse to Fusion Fest because the world comes to us. We don't seek validity. Orlando's way too cool to complain about humidity. Wet and wild, we'll never forget you. Slide down Bombay, they loosed you. We don't forget. We honor the past while still embracing the future because innovation's in our veins, because magic, because lions, because growth comes with the sound of the sunrail over the iron, an electrifying city. Resilience could be a tagline because the long lines to give, because our pulse never flatline, because beauty's beyond visual. When you feel it, you can't deny. So when we say or you see my city beautiful, just remember the reasons why. Thank you all. I just want to give a quick shout out to my lovely wife, Jana. Welcome. We are expecting a child any day now, so this is a little bit extra nerve-wracking. I love you, baby.
Okay, so I was told this is not just a feather, this is a swan.
No swans were harmed getting that feather.
Yes, family. If you're family and you came to support me, I'd like to up here on the stage.
Go right, get next to your husband.
There you go. And you said that whatever you take your shower in front. There we go. If you're looking at the back of somebody's head, go like this. You ready? Let's take a few.
We have a copy of that?
Yeah, we'll get one. Hey, Sean, you and your family don't have to stay, or Susan. That was the main event, so you're free. Okay, without objection, we are going to recess the city council meeting and convene the CRA meeting, Board of Directors. First item is meeting minutes from the September 13th CRA meeting.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Hill. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. And then Walter, you have the other one, the Sidewalk Cafe Incentive Program.
And Commissioners, just want to present to you all the approving of the Sidewalk Cafe Incentive Program was mentioned earlier. Just want to go through it just briefly. The Downtown Orlando Community Redevelopment Action Plan emphasized the needs for community redevelopment agencies to pursue opportunities to enhance outdoor dining and furnishing and pedestrian-oriented streetscape. Additionally, the plan calls on the CRA to encourage the retention and continued operation of existing businesses. The Sidewalk Cafe Incentive Program is designed to encourage downtown businesses to enhance their outdoor sidewalk cafe spaces to promote a lively, vibrant, and consistent streetscape. The program offers financial assistance to qualified property owners and tenants seeking to make outdoor sidewalk cafe improvements, including partition/barriers, furniture, trash receptacles, portable heaters, decorative planters, and fabrication costs and fee. The CRA will provide funding up to $5,000 or 50% of the total cost of eligible products, whichever is less. And I'd like to ask if there are any
So
questions.
moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Walter, further business to come before the CRA?
No, sir.
Okay, then without objection, we'll stand adjourned. We will reconvene the city council meeting and move to hearings. And we have three, all related to purchase and sale of parcels in Creative Village. So the first one is a charter hearing on the purchase agreement for parcel X1 in Creative Village between the city and Creative Village Development LLC is assigned to Usler Development, Inc. This is a public hearing for the sale of a parcel of city-owned land valued in excess of $500,000 as required by Chapter 13, Section 7 of the city charter. Notice of the hearing appeared in the Orlando Sentinel on September the 30th, 2021, and approval of this transaction will require a majority vote of all members of City Council. Property is located in downtown Orlando within the Creative Village development site. Creative Village Development LLC is the city's competitively selected master developer of Creative Village and has assigned the purchase agreement to an affiliate entity named Usler Development, Inc. City will deed the property to a single purpose entity formed by Usler, who will be the owner/developer of a 10-story hotel on the site. Parcel is approximately 0.4 acres, and the purchase price is $2.1 million. Estimated fair market value of the property is $2.1 million. At this time, we will hear from anyone from the public who wishes to speak. Madam Clerk, do we have any cards?
No, Mayor.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. All right, the second charter hearing on the purchase agreement for parcel X in Creative Village between the city and Creative Village Development LLC assigned to Usler Development, Inc. This is a public hearing for the sale of a parcel of city-owned land valued in excess of $500,000 as required by Chapter 13, Section 7 of the city charter. Notice of the hearing appeared in the Orlando Sentinel on September 30th, 2021, and approval of this transaction will require a majority vote of all members of the city council. Property is located in downtown Orlando within the Creative Village development site. Creative Village Development LLC is the city's competitively selected master developer of Creative Village and has assigned the purchase agreement to an affiliate entity named Usler Development, Inc. The city will deed the property to a single-purpose entity formed by Usler, who will be the owner/developer of a 12-story office building and attached parking garage on the site. The parcel is approximately 1.5 acres, and the purchase price is $6,704,129. The estimated fair market value of the property is $6,704,129. Do we have anyone from the public who wishes to testify?
No, Mayor.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right, third charter hearing is on the purchase of parcel Y in Creative Village between the city and Creative Village LLC as assigned to Usler Development, Inc. It's a public hearing for the sale of a parcel of city-owned land valued in excess of $500,000 as required by Chapter 13, Section 7 of the city charter. Notice of the hearing appeared in the Orlando Sentinel on September 30th, 2021, and approval of this transaction will require a majority vote of all members of City Council. Property is located in downtown Orlando within the Creative Village development site. Creative Village Development LLC is the city's competitively selected master developer for Creative Village and has assigned the purchase agreement to an affiliate entity named Usler Development, Inc. City will deed the property to a single-purpose entity formed by Usler, who will be the owner-developer of a market-rate apartment project and integrated parking garage on the site. The parcel is approximately 1 acre, and the purchase price is $4,975,594. The estimated fair market value of the property is $4,975,594. Is there anyone who wishes to testify? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion, hearing none. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, let's Let's go on to hearings, ordinances, second reading, and you get to do some reading, Madam Clerk. Number 1.
Ordinance number 2021-58, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending the city's growth management plan to change the future land use map designation for certain land generally located east of Hill Avenue, south of East Washington Street, and north of East Central Boulevard, comprised of 0.13 acres of land more or less from neighborhood activity center to residential low density, changing the property zoning designation from neighborhood activity center with the traditional city Lake Lasona Historic District and the East Washington Street Special Plan Overlay Districts to 1 to 2 family residential with the traditional city Lake Lasona Historic District and the East Washington Street Special Plan Overlay Districts, providing for amendment of the city's official future land use and zoning maps, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's error, permit disclaimer, and an effective date.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Hill. Is there anyone from the public that would like to testify?
No, Mayor.
Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Number 2.
Ordinance number 2021-63, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending the city's adopted growth management plan by updating figure CI-14 to be entitled City of Orlando 2021-2026 Capital Improvement Element Capital Improvement Fund Schedule, amending policy 2.2.30 in the capital improvements element, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's error, and an effective date.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Hill. Is there anyone from the public who would like to testify on this matter?
No, Mayor.
Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right, ordinances on first reading. We only have one.
Ordinance number 2021-64, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, relating to historic preservation, designating certain land, real property generally located north of Seville Place, west of Cordova Drive, and south of South Lake Adair Boulevard, addressed as 1000 Cordova Drive as an Orlando historic landmark, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's error, and an effective date.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Burns. Is there anyone from the public on this matter?
No, Mayor.
Discussion, Commissioner Stewart.
Mayor, thank you. I just want to say thanks to our staff. This is taking a little bit longer than we anticipated, and that is not to any fault of our staff. It's just how things have happened out. But Grace is thrilled about the opportunity of having this become part of a historical designation, and I think the community is going to respond well, just as well. So I just want to say thank you to our staff. So please send that along.
Further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, we do have a quasi-judicial hearing on the recommended order for 1375 South Cimarron Boulevard. The agenda item is the recommended order from a hearing officer in case QJ 2021-003. Case involves an appeal from the MPP's decision to recommend denial of an application for a conditional use permit to allow alcoholic beverage sales within 1,000 feet of an existing church and school and within 300 of a residential zoning district. The petitioner in this case is Centenera Inc., DBA Armor Restaurant, and the respondent is the City of Orlando. We will begin with some background and the staff's position on the case from Elizabeth Dang, our planning director.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Is this on? You can hear me okay? Great. My name is Elizabeth Dang. I'm the City Planning Division Manager, and I'm here today to present on the property at 1375 South Cimarron Boulevard. The project is located on the east side of South Cimarron, just south of La Costa Drive. And you can see from this zoomed out map, there's residential to the west and commercial north and south. The request today is for a conditional use permit to allow alcohol beverage sales within 1,000 feet of an existing church and school in the MU1 zoning district. So this map here shows a red radius of 300 feet, which is the distance to residential, and you can see that that is met on the west side of the property. And then the green radius shows the 1,000 feet distance to a church or a school. And we have the Prince of Peace Lutheran Church located to the southeast of the site, as well as the Bridge Prep Academy to the northeast of the site. A conditional use permit is required to allow alcoholic beverage sales within 1,000 feet of these uses. The future land use category is mixed use corridor medium intensity. And the zoning is MU1 with the aircraft noise overlay and the Cimarron Boulevard special plan overlay. The land use and zoning allow eating and drinking uses, but do require a conditional use permit for the alcoholic beverage sales. So the site history, in 1979, this property was platted and a restaurant was built at that time called Captain D's. It did close in 2002 and the property was purchased by the current owner in 2010. They're called Jabaran 55 LLC. This aerial photo shows the school immediately to the northeast as well as the residential uses to the west. Site photos show the exterior of the site. And this floor plan shows the layout of the site with dining rooms, seats, as well as a bar area. So during the staff review of this project, the city's code enforcement staff found evidence that the business was open and in operation without the required zoning approvals. The operator was cited for not having the required certificate of use and the alcoholic beverage sales license. That is a violation of both the city code and the Florida statutes. The code enforcement officers took pictures of the site. They found a sign advertising a bar that's open until 2 a.m. Wednesday through Monday. They also took pictures of the interior, as well as photos showing alcohol on sale on the menu, as well as being consumed on site. Based with these new facts, the staff recommended denial of the conditional use request because the request does not meet the purpose and intent and all other requirements of the Land Development Code. So one of the requirements is a catch-all that's called the site must be in good order. And that typically means following city and state rules, which they did not do in this case. The code enforcement violation is one of the other matters that the municipal planning board can consider because it's directly related to the request. So therefore, the municipal planning board recommended denial of the request and the applicant filed for a quasi-judicial appeal. So conditional use applications are quasi-judicial matters, and Chapter 2, Article 32 of the City Code outlines the process for going through that appeal process, and the quasi-judicial hearing was conducted on August 19th of this year. The hearing officer found that the applicant failed to produce evidence to justify overturning the planning board recommendation to deny the CUP. The hearing officer also found that staff was justified in not supporting the conditional use on the grounds that the purpose and intent and other matters listed in section 65.285 were not met. And finally, the municipal planning board was allowed to consider the applicant's actions in making its decision because those actions are relevant and material to the CUP requirements in the code. Therefore, the hearing officer recommendation is to deny the petition and accept and adopt the municipal planning board's June 15th, 2021 recommendation of denial. So the council actions today is either to adopt the recommended order with changes, or direct staff to prepare a revised order. And staff recommends approving the hearing officer's recommended order for the quasi-judicial appeal. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Are there questions for Elizabeth? Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Okay, section 2.209 Orlando City Code provides that council will not entertain comments from the public. However, council may allow staff and each party up to 5 minutes for oral presentation or argument. Historically, we have given each party 5 minutes. Since we've already heard staff's presentation, I'd like to call the petitioner or a representative of the petitioner and give them 5 minutes. And I do have a request from Ricky Floor, representing the petitioner.
Good afternoon. I am principally the licensing agent for 27 years in the state of Florida. I've been requested to represent Lydia Santana, who filed a petition to serve beer and wine with it, with a delicious but spicy food at the location of 1375 South Cimarron Boulevard. Despite the distance separation requirements from established school and church, city staff then recommended approval of the petitioner's application, only to take it away at a later date. Reason the business was operating without a business taxes license that the business owner could not access even when they wanted to pay. Reason unknown, the restaurant was closed due to lack of financial income. The company agreed to offer the building for a closed private party. Ms. Santana stated during the quasi-judicial hearing that he interviewed various people, including the former agent of the state's Division of Alcohol, regarding private party statutes. They were none, he concluded. A code enforcement agent from the city of Orlando came by on his way home from the beach, gets in the car, wondered about the cars parked on the lot adjacent. This was like the only party that happened. Got halted by a security guard when entering the building, checking for an invitation, and got let in by the owner of Armour Restaurant. Alcohol was being served, not sold, during this party. He took some photos that you have seen, but did not issue any citation. So what to write on the citation? This event was, and in a few other small items, such an old dilapidated hours of opening sign that was later removed, was enough evidence that Armour Restaurant was operating without a business tax receipt, which is simple as going to the city hall, which they did but were rejected. They couldn't pay. They couldn't pay this business license. No reason known. Centenary Incorporated and Lydia Santana have proven pursuant to Section 2207 of the City Code, have proven that the past evidence to justify the approval of a CUP application. Centenary Incorporated, the petitioner, has agreed that she is willing to work within the city's requirements and the burden of hardship that fell upon the company. Hereby, I motion the council for an unanimous gestation to approve and reverse the recommendation of the Municipal Planning Board. Thank you.
Okay, are there any questions? Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to uphold the, motion to move forward with the recommended order for 1375.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ortiz, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Motion is to approve the recommended order of the hearing officer. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and the motion carries. Okay, that concludes our official business for the day. Ed, could you get us ready for general appearance?